Hello, I'm Upeksha Chirandi from Group 7. In this video, I will demonstrate you the features I implemented for this project. Our front end is built with React, Bootstrap and CSS. First, I developed the header and sidebar components to bind all the main components together. Then I developed the dashboard, which has a navigation bar. The navigation bar has 3 tabs. In this tab, the tasks has grouped by the date. In this tab, the tasks has grouped by the week. In this tab, you can see the search tasks option. You can select the option and search. Here results will show. Then I implemented the AI insights. For the AI insights, you need to select a AI model. I implemented AI insights using Cohere API. Here you can see the results of AI insights. Now let's check the relevant codes. In front end, source, components, show tasks, you can see the task card. I implemented this component to show tasks individually. Then this show tasks is calling by daily tasks and weekly tasks component. In this daily tasks, I have the logic to group the tasks by date. In weekly tasks, I have the logic to group tasks by week. For this weekly task, I have a support file to get the week and the year. It's in this utils folder, and here is that file. Then this weekly task and daily task component is calling by home component. Here is it. You can see that I'm calling a service file here. You can see that service file in this folder, service folder. Here is fetch all task service. Here I call the backend API to get all tasks. Now let's check the backend codes. In backend, I have structured codes into service, controller and routes. In here service, you can see the fetch tasks. This fetch task service contains the database queries. Here in controller, this handles request response logic. In routes, this defines API endpoints and is called from the front end via Axios. And here you can see the verify token. I also implemented this verify token middleware to ensure requests are from authenticated users. We can see this verify token in the middleware folder. If the token is invalid, the request is rejected, otherwise the user info is returned. Now let's see the codings for search tasks option. Here under source, components, show tasks, search task file. Here you can see I have stored the user inputs in user states. After that, I'm calling search task service, which has API calling for the backend. Here is the service file. Here it calls backend API. Let's see the backend codes. It also has service file, control file, and routes. Here in the services, search task services, this contains the filtering logic. You can see it. Here is the controller file. Here is the search task routes. Now let's check the codes related to AI insights. Under source components, you can see Cohere insights file. Here is the coding. Here you can see I call fetch analytics service. That file is here. Here I call backend API to fetch AI analytics data. Then in Cohere Insights, after fetching that data, it will store in user state analytics data. Then those data will render here. You can see that I have handled errors here and loading, and I have given message when AI analytics is not present for some users. Then let's check the backend code. In backend, I have a service file for AI analytics. Here. Here you can see I have called Cohere client. I have initialized Cohere client here in utils. Cohere client. Here I have initialized the Cohere client. Then I'm calling it here and also calls Supabase client. After that, I have write a query to fetch all tasks related to the logged in user. After fetching the task, I have a predefined prompt. I combine those tasks with this predefined prompt and send that prompt to AI API. After receiving the result from the AI API, I convert that result into a readable JSON format and send it to frontend. Here you can see the controller file for the fetch for the AI insights. It handle request response logic. Here is the routes. It also use verify token to identify authenticated users. Previously I missed to show the header and sidebar components. Now let's check it. Under source components, header sidebar, you can see the sidebar component. The sidebar contains the navigation tabs for different sections. Here is the header component. Header component shows the global info. Now let's check the home layout component. It's under layouts folder. I created this component to bind together header and sidebar. This component is fully responsive and all tab content is rendered using outlet from React Router. Then I implemented testing using Jest. I tested middleware, controllers and service files. I mocked external dependencies like the database, API calls and authentication so I could test the logic independently without using real services. Now let's check verify token test. Here I mocked the JWT verification function to simulate valid and invalid tokens. Then I tested what happens in different scenarios. First I checked if no token is provided, the middleware returns a 401 error. Then I checked if the token is invalid, the mock JWT throws an error and the middleware returns 403. Then I checked if the token is valid, the middleware attaches user data to the request and allows the request to continue. Then let's check fetch task controller test. Here I mocked the service function. This simulates the database responses without calling the real database. Then I checked if user ID is missing. Controller returns an error. Then I checked if service returns tasks. Controller sends success response. Here it is. Then I checked if service throws errors, controller handles it properly. For service testing, yeah, not, it's here. For service testing, I mocked the Supabase client. This simulates database queries. Then I checked uh, tasks, tasks are fetched correctly. Then empty results are handled. Then database errors are thrown correctly. Then I tested search tasks. I mocked the service in controller tests and checked whether filtered tasks are returned correctly and errors are handled. In service tests, I mocked the Supabase query. Methods like select, equal, and like. This simulates filtering logic without accessing the real database. Then I verified that the correct filters are applied and results are returned properly. Finally, I tested the AI Insights feature. In controller testing, I mocked the AI service to simulate generated insights and error responses. Here are the codes. In service testing, I mocked both Supabase database queries and Cohere API calls. This checks how task data is processed and sent to the AI, and how insights are generated and how failures are handled. Now let's run the tests. You can see that all the tests have passed. This is the end of my demo. Thanks for watching.